does anyone even know where we are? It's been so long since I've been here. I mean, I show it on a lot of streams and stuff, but it's been so long since I've done a video here that I bet there's a lot of people here who don't even know where this is. This is called Helheim. This whole place was a Patron build for my very first patron ever, Edgy. Since we've kind of, this ended season 2, yeah, and we, have moved on and been doing some other things, but I gained a new patron who is a wonderful, wonderful content creator named Soothing Philly, who is actually both a patron and a YouTube member, which is ridiculous. But you get your choice of either 2 sort of houses, or you get this and an epic build. It's your call, whatever you prefer, Soothing. So and his channel is going to be linked, both his YouTube channel and Twitch channel, in the description of this video. I cannot say enough of good things about Soothing Philly. We've become friends over the last month or so, since I just randomly found, I think I found this through a raid or something. I can't remember who it was, maybe Rector. Someone, anyway, someone put me on him and was like, wow, this dude seems cool. And then I just started hanging out, and then it turned out that he knew of Vasten. We just hit up. We're actually going to be doing some things together here, I think, that are going to be really fun in the future. I'm going to bring him on to do one of the Vasten tour episodes that we're doing of the old world at some point. So it should be a lot of fun to get that worked out. But this is what he asked for. He asked for a floating wizard tower. Now, let me read sort of the lore behind it, and then we'll get into this. Another thing I want to do is I want to do some lore of Vasten episodes that talk about these wonderful lore things that we have going on. Now, I've did a lot of this building on a live stream, and some between then. So unfortunately, we're not seeing this build from the very beginning in this episode. But if you're at my live streams, you've seen it. It was just kind of a thing where I was at a good stopping point from a lot of big projects. I thought, you know what, let's just do a build. Let's start a build on a live stream. So that's kind of how that happened. But man, Helheim is nice. The palette, everything about it. I'm running shaders right now because I was doing screenshots, and I thought, if I'm going to show off Soothing Philly's Patron build, it's not done. Obviously, we're going to be working out some details and stuff together. But a lot of it is largely sort of the outline is done. So let me grab the lore that he wrote, and then I'll read it to you. All right, so the lore, I thought he had like some names and stuff for it. Not a big deal, but that's why I cut and I wanted to turn off shaders and looked at it. And it's basically, there's a wizard on the run who came here to Helheim. See, Helheim is cursed, so there's a bunch of lore behind Helheim, and if you haven't been watching all 373 episodes or so up until this point of the Realm of Vasten, that's just of me, not to mention everyone else. But then what Helheim is the birthplace of witches. What happened was Tanisa Umale was an elf, and she was kind of a scientist. And scientists are not from elven scientists are not like super fondly looked upon, right? Like their elves are more magic inspired. So someone who used science was kind of like shunned. She tried to evolve humans. That was kind of her idea. She thought, I can now. This comes from Edgy, one of my other patrons. She wanted to make human beings better than they are, more like the elves, and so she tried to evolve them doing some science experiments. And let me show you where these are. This is why this is going to factor into Soothing Philly's wizard tower a lot from a lore perspective. So she ran science experiments on humans, and basically it didn't go well. And what happened was she accidentally created witches. So she gave human beings the power of magic, but also made them insane, right? So not so great. But so while they became magic, they ended up just starting to attack people and go into alchemy and instead of make potions that help people and stuff like that, they started creating potions that do harm, which sort of explains the witches in Minecraft, right? Now, if you go underneath this, by the way, there is a witch farm. This is my witch farm right here. You know what? It's been changed. I think maybe the VD crew has changed my witch farm to make it work. Yeah, this is not my work. Okay, I used to have a witch farm. Oh, they did some sort of moving machine or something. See what's happening here? Very interesting. They fixed it. It was kind of broken, I guess. Yeah, so anyway, so witches fall to their doom right down there, and all the drops and stuff are collected. Let's actually, since we're in spectator here, let's just go in and see what they did. What the heck did they do here? Let's see. Okay. Okay, no glowstone at all. And I've been here for a little while, so that's probably not a great thing. Oh, this is all this here. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Maybe there's more down here. It looks like they added a lot of overflow. Yeah, nothing. Okay. All right. So it seems like even with it, because I think, yeah, Mollis is the only person on right now. Oh, the gunpowder's gone. Yeah, okay. And now I know that Truth has been sort of taking things and stuff, which is good. Consolidating source. So maybe he just grabbed stuff. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Pretty. Oh, it goes the whole way up now. Oh, this didn't used to go the whole way up. Oh, now I understand. So that's the. Okay, that's fine. So anyway, so this is there is a witch farm here, and that's why, you know, they create the witches. This whole thing is built basically to have a witch farm, and this is the altar where they were on. So after Tanisa realized that it wasn't working, and the witches, she really shunned the witches because she was, although maybe a bit of a mad scientist, she was like good at heart, you know. The witches really wanted her to love them, and she just didn't because they were crazy, and it wasn't what she was trying to get. So eventually, she figured out that she had to use her elven life essence in the formula to create the high humans, and it worked. So she was able to make 7 high humans who she loved and cherished above all, and the last one basically drained all of her life essence, and she died shortly after that. But the 7 high humans lived here for a while, and the witches hated them because they got Tanisa's, they called her mother. They got mother's love, and the witches didn't. This is why witches, if you're walking around the Minecraft world, will lash out and try to kill you, right? Because they hate humans. Excuse me. And that's just kind of our little bit of lore to explain why witches would just attack you on sight, because they hate humans so much because they view the high humans as what they should have been and weren't. Now, the high humans ended up leaving. 6 of the 7 of them left because human beings from Port Bray, which is just right over there, they attacked here, thinking that, you know, witches live here. The high humans lived up here in the castle of Helheim. The witches lived down in these little witch huts down in this area. And the lore is that... Oh, hey, Windows notification. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that notification so much. So the lore is that the witches would live here, and then as time went on, their descendants sort of started building these little huts down here because, you know, they're insane, right? I mean, maybe their building skills are not... have devolved over time as they get crazier and crazier, right? So the high humans end up they got attacked by Port Bray a couple times, and they just realized that people hate them, the high humans, because they are the people don't understand they're in league with the witches and all that kind of stuff. They think, even though that's not the case. So people attacked. The high humans said, okay, enough of this. We're out. 6 of the 7 left, leaving only Rubetto, one of Tanisa's children. Well, sorry, I just got over a horrible coughing fit. Okay. So Rubetto lived here because Rubetto still loved the witches. He was the only one who thought that he could maybe stay here and take care of the witches. Now, that didn't really turn out to be true. The witches still hated him, but humans from Port Bray attacked. They came in mass. A militia came and attacked Helheim. And it was going to win. They were going to beat the witches. The witches weren't organized at all. They ended up setting up this little wall that they have here, but they were going to lose. I mean, it wasn't close. And then Rubetto came down from the tower, and Rubetto, it was amazing. So Rubetto's, he was a high human, and the deal with high humans is they are, if you ever watch Star Trek, they're like Khan, right? They're like advanced, genetically altered, you know, humans. So they're faster, smarter, even bigger because elves are taller than humans, and in addition, with all the alchemy things. So imagine in Minecraft terms, Rubetto comes down with like a strength 5 potion, haste 2. Jump boost, you know what I mean? Like all the things, plus like these like kick butt weapons and everything, and he just completely mauled through the human forces. Now, it wasn't without injury. He ended up getting injured. He turned the tide. The humans fled, and definitely good night. Okay. So Rubetto ended up dying after the battle, but humans don't know that. Human beings still think Rubetto is here in Helheim because they don't know that they actually did kill him. Even, you know, no one made that public knowledge because his you know, the spirit of Rubetto is still protecting Helheim. Now, the witches have since moved out. Witches, it turned out that they couldn't live peacefully sort of among each other because they're just so insane. So that's why you'll find witch huts just all over the world. Little tiny witch huts just all by themselves because witches have basically, they moved away from each other out of just constant fighting and constant attacking and whatever. So Helheim is largely abandoned. There's probably some people that live here now, but it is like, it's like forbidden. Maybe not technically by King Danao or anything, but no one's going to come to Helheim because they think Rubetto's still here and he would murder them. So this mage here. Now I need a name for the mage. So that's my question or comment of the day. Someone name the mage. Give me a good mage name. Now we haven't gone a lot into magic yet, so it could be, since we don't really have established magic in lore for it, let's make him an alchemist. Which I think Soothing Philly would probably be fine with. So let's make him an alchemist. So the alchemist was doing some, let's call it unsavory practices in Port Bray. And when people found out about it, his experiments and so forth, they ran him right out of the kingdom. So he came here and he built somehow this floating tower. Now the floating tower isn't done yet. We're going to do that between clips. I'm actually going to bring Juxie in to help me a little bit with some magic particles and stuff. He's very, very good at it. So the bulk of it's done. It's just not detailed or anything yet. And I want to bring in some greenery up there too. So anyway, so to keep himself safe, he uses his extreme knowledge of alchemy, let's say, to fuel these like fires that are going to keep him floating up in this castle, which also keeps him safe because no one can get up there, right? So that's kind of his story. So this insane alchemist, which you will name in the comments. So give me a good name, okay? That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking everyone to do. Give me a good solid name for this insane alchemist that lives, well, not insane, just kind of dark, like a dark alchemist who lives up here. And he moved here to stay safe because no one's going to come here given that they think Rubetto is still here, okay? That's the lore story. Okay, that's the lore story. Hope Soothing Philly, I hope you like it. I hope you like the little bit of lore that we sort of worked out here, and I hope you like the build. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut because, man, what the plan is I want to do some like magical things using some stained glass and stuff, effects that are going up and down, like here through these 4 things, and a big one that goes underneath that kind of swirls. That's kind of my goal. That's going to keep this thing up. And then what I want to do after I add some greenery and stuff, I want to make it look like maybe it's seen some better days. So we'll add some overgrowth and some things like that, like just to add some age to it, because Helheim is, after all, supposedly abandoned, right? So yeah, just like some simple things, like just some greenery, even right here. So bring in some birch fences and all that kind of stuff. I think will really help, and you know, maybe some interiors. Well, y'all know how I do with that. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, yeah, this is the idea. So I want to get that stuff worked out and all this stuff, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. Okay. Hey, so we're here with Juxie. What's up, Jux?
Hey, how are you doing?
I am good. So we are we're here in Soothing Philly's tower, and this is about halfway through an episode, as I just told Juxie, and I brought in. So we're doing the Wizard City time lapse build, and you know, I'm just like cruising around, just building some stuff, blah blah blah, and then I look over, and I create this dumb little meager tower, and Juxie has created this wonderful, amazing, floating, cool thing that I think with magic effects would be so cool. So what he did was, to describe it a little bit, is he did like, it's like a tower base, and then these like magical effects, and then the tower top. And the magic effects are like what's keeping it connected. Is that fairly accurate?
Yeah, it's like propelling it upwards and keeping it all like structural sound, I guess. Structurally sound.
I just thought that was so cool. So let me slide into spectator here and show where we've left off at this build. It's been a while since I did the first couple clips, so I don't remember if this has been fully formed or not. But what I'm thinking is I'm thinking 5 of these sort of magical things. I'm thinking 1 in each of these 4 sort of side things. And then 1 down at the bottom. And I thought, you know what? Why should I just try to copy Jux whenever he's actually here and plays with us? And I haven't done a collab with him yet this season, so I definitely want to do both of those things. And why not bring in just such a building master of this thing? So Juxie, why don't you give us some thoughts on how you do it, and then we'll do it off camera, and then we'll come back in between and
yeah,
show it at the end.
So what I do is that I think that how it's gonna be naturally. Hold up, let me pop into this. There we go. Sorry. So I think about it naturally. So I think about magical effects and how they're not always right angles and like strictly like square and all that stuff.
Right.
I think of it as curves and honestly just like the flow of nature, to be honest. Because it looks much better than being rigid and not as solid, I guess.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And plus, that stands out so much in Minecraft because so much of what we build, is, I always call it on the X and the Z, like square, like like this and like this, like everything's on these axes. Even something just like diagonals all of a sudden makes things look really different. Like if you just all of a sudden do that, then that's different, but that's still straight. And what I noticed about your thing that you did was there was almost nothing straight. It was very like curved and stuff, which is so weird on in this game that we play. And the other thing that you did that I thought was cool is you use glass panes and you use both blocks and panes, right, to establish sort of the curves.
Yeah, I do, because the blocks add more of a depth because they bring the actual magic out. So like if you have a pane, it's like more like in the half of the block, and if you have a glass block, it's like a full block. So it just works really well.
That's exactly right. That's exactly that's a lot of times I'll do curves with fences. If you do like a block here and a block here, and then I'll put a fence in there because it kind of gives that sort of curvy sort of look, even though it's not really curved. So I guess kind of you're thinking the same thing as using the panes as sort of a curve around the full blocks.
Yeah, it just works really well.
The colors that we were thinking is we only have 4 options of glass in this pack. So of the 16 glass, different glasses we have, 12 of them are sort of like, I don't have any on me, of course, but sort of like have iron bar, medieval looking things in our texture pack. 4 of them are just these these solid colors right here. And so it's the only options that we really have are magenta, blue, gray, and lime. So we thought that since Helheim is so purple in general, that why not use purple sort of magic to be keeping this up? Because the idea behind this, Jux, is it's a mage who, it's not a mage. That we don't really have magic on people yet. People in this world haven't really gotten magic. It's more of the elf thing. So it's a master alchemist who has sort of somehow harnessed, say, like slow fall potions or something in some way to make these this thing stay up. So we thought, well, let's use purple and gray because it'll kind of match the theme here. And well, why don't we get to building and then we'll come back and show the folks what we did at the end.
Sure.
All right, sounds good. We are back. Oh my goodness, look at this tower. Look at this tower. So Juxie came on and did some help. The last clip I think you saw was me talking to Juxie about kind of what we're going to do and stuff. And then then I came in and I copied the sort of effects that he had in these 4 towers. And then he came back and worked on the ray, like the giant big thick ray. And then he was doing some stuff like over, I can't zoom. Darn it, not having Optifine. You know why we don't have Optifine? And we don't have our beautiful skies and we don't have our connected textures? Because... oh, that's not how you do it. Wait, there you go. Oh, baby. We are in 114.1. That's right. Who wants smooth stone stairs? I do. There you go. You can have it now. You can have it. You can have anything you want as long as it's included in this update. That's right. We finally did it. So 114.1 looks good. We upgraded. And in fact, actually, I gotta say, my frames have not been this good like in a long time. I mean, over 200 frames, and I'm not moving, and I know, blah blah blah, but still, that's really good for me and for my aging computer. So nice job. It's solid. We have some things that don't work, and I'm going to talk about that maybe next video and sort of mention some of the things that we have and some of the things that we don't have. But I think for maybe the last time, I'm going to use spectator mode. Well, no, I'm not going to use it. I lied. I'm not going to use it. We're making a small course correction change with Vasten. just kind of like, over time you learn things. Some things change, some things don't change, and sometimes you need to just sort of make small adjustments. And again, next video I'm going to talk about some of that stuff. Next video may end up being a little bit of a talky, grindy episode because we got some work to do in the Path of the Ice Seers. Oh man, it's so cool down there. But yeah, I feel like after probably roughly 2 years of kind of going exactly the way we've been going, that we just need to make a couple small adjustments, and that'll be coming next video. I'll discuss that. But this is it. So Soothing Philly, I just want to say first of all, it's so awesome that you're on the server with us now. It's so awesome that you're playing into season 4. I'm so psyched to get to play with you and build with you. And secondly, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member, a patronage, man. That is really, really cool. I'm really, it's an honor that you decided to sponsor, well, basically sponsor Vasten. I mean, that's really what being a patron of mine is essentially. It pays for Vasten and stuff. We're up to 10 gig now on the Vasten server, which helps a great deal running without Optifine and without Spigot and all that kind of stuff. And I could not do, I'm telling you right now, I could not pay for a 10 gig server if it weren't for Soothing Philly and the rest of you guys who really helped sponsor this whole bit. But the chains or juxies, he had the idea to put some like gravities kind of affecting this. I want to do a Lore of Vasten episode maybe in like June about this, like a short little cinematic that sort of tells the story of this master alchemist here, and I want to work with Soothing Philly a little bit on a bit of the backstory of him. But yeah, I think it's really cool. Yeah, I just love it. I think this is one of my favorite builds. It's not one of my biggest builds, but it's one of my favorite builds in a really long time. And hopefully you like it as well. Can I land here? I mean, there's no way I can, right? No way. Oh man, I was so close. That was so close. Anyway, that's a wizard. That's a floating wizard tower, baby, if I ever saw one. So anyway, that's it. Floating wizard tower done. We don't have Optifine, no shaders. We'll just be sad about it all together. But that'll come. Optifine won't be more than probably a week, maybe 2 at the most, and then we'll be back on pace. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Soothing Philly, special thanks to you. I hope you enjoy this build. We got to do an interior. We're going to be working together on that just to do some fun stuff. But I think the build for itself, we're going to call it complete. I'll see you all next episode from the Realm of Vasten. Please don't forget to subscribe to all my friends. I have some amazing building friends, and yeah, they all amazing content creators. They all deserve all of your subscriptions and your likes and your comments and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Hey, special thanks to my patrons and my YouTube members, and especially in this episode, especially thank you to Soothing Philly, as I said just a few seconds ago in the last part of the episode, which I just recorded. Yeah, seriously, guys, the things that we're able to do on Vasten and Vasten Dimensions and the Wizard City build and the realm and the mini games realm and all that kind of stuff is all 100% thanks to you. So I could not do that kind of stuff and sort of try to form this community and keep it rolling and do more community stuff if it wasn't for you folks. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. My family appreciates it. It means a great deal to me and all of us who live here in the Fix household. So I'll see you all next time. Next episode, please subscribe to all my friends. They're good people. And buy a mug. Buy a mug. It's only available until July 1st. Okay, so go buy a mug. Okay, bye everyone. Bye.